Part 2 of the 9-year anniversary for Dokkan Battle is coming up very, very soon. We are on February 6th when I'm recording this, and the live stream is on Friday, February 9th. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the potential themes that we could be seeing for Part 2. Now, the first thing we have to do is look at the evidence that we have so far to kind of come up with a hypothesis for who it could be, right? Now, in my opinion, it comes down to two big dogs and then a couple honorable mentions or dark horse candidates for who we could be expecting, right? But what we need to do in order to do that is kind of look at the evidence that we have, right? So the first big thing that we have is this event that's coming out on the 8th, as you can see right here, and that is the Dragon Ball Super Memorial Battle, right? I have the event pulled up right here. All we really have so far is 2 stages versus Broly and Gogeta, and then we have some events, right? Or some missions, excuse me. We have like no item runs is one of the things, so I don't think it's going to be too bad. Then we have a special with, what's it called? Includes characters of 5 types. So so just like looking at the missions, it doesn't really matter, right? What we're really here for is the theme of this, right? So it's like the only really way that we could, or the only real way that we could get like a continual updates to this is we have to go superhero, right? So Beast Gohan, Cell Max would be the logical kind of follow-up to what this event would be, right? Because Broly and Gogeta, obviously there's only one movie after that, and if we look at the super movies, maybe I could pull that up while we're here. Let's go ahead and find this red zone if we want to pull that up. You can see that we go Beerus and Golden Frieza. So these are the Dragon Ball Super movies, though, even though Dragon Ball, I think technically these are Dragon Ball Z, because Dragon Ball Super came out after Revival of F, but kind of in that, like, that realm, right? Like, if we're talking Dragon Ball Super movies, because if these are Dragon Ball Z, then we only have one movie left, and that would be Dragon Ball Super Superhero. So Beast Gohan and Cell Max, I'd say we have some of the strongest evidence for, in terms of what Part 2 could be. And if you want to kind of cope a little, maybe not even cope, but what would be the word? Like, further support that evidence is that I believe they call him Sunshine. I forget the name of the guy that was on the live stream. You guys probably know who I'm talking about. He's doing like he was the super energetic guy from the 8th year anniversary. You guys know who I'm talking about if you watch the live stream. But he, after like kind of the presentation was over, he did the special beam cannon pose, right? So obviously they're not going, I mean, knock on wood here, but they're not going back to the Saiyan saga to do the Raditz fight, right? Because like, I mean, what's the other iconic special beam cannon, right? Like, are we ready to call Beast Gohan special beam cannon iconic? It's certainly hype, but time will tell. But if we wouldn't talk about like in terms of relativity to what we're talking about, then absolutely. So Beast Gohan Cell Max Part 2, why this would work would be the fact that we have the the Dokkan Fest Carnival format where the Super Class and Extreme Class unit would kind of be the headliners, right? So we already had the Extreme Dokkan Fest and the Super Carnival. And then for Part 2, it would just flip, where Beast Gohan would be the Dokkan Fest, and then Cell Max would be the Carnival unit. So if we want to look at a couple teams that I think would really kind of get a buff, and I honestly didn't even pull up all of these, right away, Super Bosses for Cell Max. He's going to fit right in on the team right now. If we want to talk about the core of this team right now, we have Merge Zamasu, we have Broly, we have this Golden Frieza. Who else do we have? Kale obviously is not going to make the cut on that team, but we have the Broly trio. AGL Zamasu is pretty decent. I don't know where he's at right here. This hit right here, this Extreme STR hit, if like, imagine Cell Max's STR, this 60% support hit, whew, he's going to fit right in on this team, right? So Super Bosses absolutely could use the help, and getting that one more unit to kind of flow in there, I think would be extremely helpful. But looking at somebody, another team that would be kind of getting buffed from this would be the Exploding Rage team, obviously right here, but this Ultimate Gohan, really any category that this guy's on, Beast Gohan should be on as well. Now, what I don't understand is how they're not on Desperate Struggle, because Desperate Struggle, like, the fight against Cell Max looked pretty bleak there for a minute until Gohan goes into Beast. Like, Piccolo was damn near just like KIA, right? Like, you can see that's what triggered it, right? So I think Desperate Struggle would work pretty well for what, like, Beast Gohan, like, honestly, like, I feel like the superhero characters that fought Cell Max should be on this, right? Like, if we get, like, maybe a Gamma 1 and 2 that kind of do the core breaker and stuff like that, I think that they could be on this team, because the fight against Cell Max, I would say, like, it might have been quick, but it was a pretty, like, quick struggle, right? Like, it didn't look good, but maybe I'm missing the critique for the category, but I think that potentially they could be on there. Exploding Rage, I don't think we really need to go over that. We know why Gohan would be on there. Honestly, Cell Max could be on there too, just based on like what he does. Like this Cell's on here because of like the blow up thing, and you know, Cell Max is very similar in that principle where it's just like all he's doing is yelling, right? So you could maybe put him on there. But Super Bosses, Bond Master and Disciple, a team that's very good, just gets an additional help, or just, you know, one more unit to throw on there. Miraculous Awakening, same idea. This Gohan's on here, so he would fit in just fine. So quickly, just talking about, I wanted to like hyper focus on superhero because I feel that's the most likely option for this part. But what I wanted to kind of do also is look at some potential other stuff that we have, right? The other big hitter, Majin Buu Saga, where my evidence for this is just like right here, right? We've got a lot of stuff headlined by the Majin Buu Saga, Extreme Z areas coming back. We have this right here with Videl and Gohan. This is obviously tied to the Buu Saga. I think this is from Wrath of the Dragon, the story event, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can open this up from here. Hero of Justice, Sand, Youthful Hearts. Stop the Reckless Majin. Maybe I'm tripping. Can I click on here and see the enemies? Yeah, this is Buu Saga. I'm sorry. Yeah, so that even more evidence, right? That is Buu Saga. This is Buu Saga. This is Buu Saga. And if you really want to cope, I don't really think this has to do with anything, but this is from like December 27th, so we're not going to really think about that. But, you know, Kid Buu and Super Saiyan 3 Goku right here. You don't really want to count that. But, you know, something else is that the theme of this is like quote-unquote super. So, Super Vegito. But who knows? That could definitely be it. Again, there's nothing concrete here, but I just kind of put some thoughts on paper, if you will, for what I could think this could potentially be. Just kind of scrolling through here. If I see anything that jumps off the page, I'll say it. But another thing, if you really want to get into the Cope area or the Cope realm, UI Goku, the kind of like some form of UI Goku in Jiren for part 2. You have these two guys, EZA right here, potential EZA coming up right here on these guys, just based on other things. These guys would obviously fit on the Tournament of Power team and stuff like that, and then a UI Goku would be kind of the headliner with that, and then Jiren would probably find a way to be able to slip on the team as well. So that could work out really well. You have this event right here with Hit. This is Tournament of Power. This is trending towards Tournament of Power theme bosses just based on the forms that we've seen so far. So a whole lot of options, but it is really tough to kind of nail it down to one thing. So it's like you look at the Buu Saga team for like Super Vegito. This team needs help in a bad way. If you just want to talk about specifically the Buu Saga, it's like, who do you have, right? It's like we have these 50% supports or 60% supports now that have taken quite a decent scale up. Potentially, maybe STR Vegito gets an EZA, and then you have like the Buu Duo, a new Vegito, this Vegito, the Go Bros. If you really want to nitpick, like you really got to reach on the Go Bros. And then after that, it's like, what else, right? You would have a potential Buuhan coming in. I guess if this Vegito EZA, this guy would EZA as well. So, I mean, there's potential for the Buu Saga team to be pretty nasty if they just handle it right? So, that's kind of how I'm feeling with the Buu Saga. But honestly, I think the most likely thing, especially if you've been watching this video throughout the whole thing, I say the most likely thing is probably just superhero, right? Cell Max, Beast Gohan. Let's just nail this home with the 9th anniversary. Gogeta Blue and Beast Gohan. Can't really get much more hype for headliners than that, in my opinion. So. Let me know down below what you guys think. Just wanted to quickly go over what we know and see what we could potentially come up with for part 2 of the 8th year or 9th year anniversary. Let me know what you guys think down below. Who do you think it's going to be? Leave a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you are new and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of my Dokkan content. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.